So good afternoon to all. So நம்ம நிறைய டாபிக்ஸ் பார்த்தோம் இல்லையா. ஸோ ஜஸ்ட் we saw many more topics related to this switching transient. So now we are going to see in detail about capacitor switching transients. Okay. So what does mean by capacitor switching transient? By using the capacitors we can able to switch the transient. That is only explained here. So without capacitance and inductance we can't able to transmit the power from one place to another in distribution system. In distribution system I am saying that for a very large value of the power transmission. So usually the capacitor banks is to be installed by the utilities. Utilities is nothing but a power system. Okay. So by using this power system we can able to by using this capacitor bank we can able to save the power, and also it is to be utilized more. Then for the transmission definitely the capacitor bank is to be needed. So this capacitor banks are placed at various locations on the transmission and distribution networks for to provide the reactive power for the voltage support. So sometimes we need the reactive power itself. Okay. So by using this capacitor banks we can able to send the power, or we can able to give it with the help of this. We can able to maintain the reactive also. Then we enter into the voltage magnification. So magnification means enlarging, that is called as a magnification. So transient of this magnitude are usually not a problem on the utility system. That is, because of the transient, if the magnitude is getting created, or if the magnitude is produced because of this transient, then it will not be as a problem if it is as a low value. So when it is get magnified, at the time only we need to reduce it. So the highest transient voltage occur at the voltage capacitor bank. So this is only explained through a simple diagram. So we are going to fix the capacitor banks for two different purposes. One is to going to control the voltage, and another one is to give the power factor correction. So it is only given in this diagram. So in this diagram you can see, so there is a source is present. So this source will supply the power, and also we are having a two different buses. So first one is a medium voltage substation, and next one is facility substation. Okay. The program is going there is nothing but first bus we are going to add a switched utility capacitor. Okay. So by using this capacitor, when we need that, at the time only the switch is going to be on. So when it is getting on, then the power is to be transmitted. So that is the switched utility capacitor. If you want, then we have to use this capacitor. Then next one, it is to be transferred to the inductance of L2. Then it have a bus of 2, which is shown here as a bus B. Then here it is needed of a power factor correction capacitor. So by using this capacitor we can able to correct the power factor and also maintain the power without any problem. So this is a very important thing we should know in this capacitor switching react. So there is two different medium voltage substation, and also this is a inductance of, after that inductance L2 there is one more thing. This is medium voltage, and this is also high voltage. So after that it is to be transmitted, and safely it is to be recognized. So in this bus A and bus B we are going to have a different waveforms also. So this is totally depend upon the resonance condition. So when the switching resonance is equal to the transient resonance, so at the time it is produces that. So this medium voltage and low voltage bus bar. So first bus bar is a medium voltage, and second bus bar is a low voltage bus bar. So this capacitor C1 and the first inductor C1 and capacitor C1. So see this. So this inductor L1 and capacitor of this C1. So this both will be as a same only. So that is L1 C1 is equal to L2 C2. So this medium voltage bus bar having the frequency of this and low voltage bus bar having the frequency of this. So this is also present only during the time of resonance. So it have the buses of different thing now. So the two different buses. So this bus A and bus B. So which produces the waveform like this in a different manner. So it depends on the transmission and the using of the capacitor's rating. So what is capacitor switched reluctance, or what is this capacitor switching transient means? We have to fix the capacitor for some reason to make the power in a correct way. For that we are using this capacitors. It will absorb the more power, or it will make the power in a good way to transmit. So capacitor is going to switch the transient, which is very important. It transmits the transient voltage. So that's why we are using two different capacitors of power factor correction capacitor. Then one more thing as capacitor switching. Okay, so study this in a good way. If you have any doubt, then go through once. Thank you.